confidence, it's all ego. It's not confidence, it's all ego. It's not confidence, it's all ego. You're in the presence of history in the making, yo. It's not confidence, it's all ego. It's not confidence.
What's up, everybody? This is Brent Brookhouse. I am here recording with All Ego Ethan Page. He's in Japan. We recorded last week and the audio went completely to shit, so we have a lost episode out there, but there should be plenty to talk about this week because of it. So what's going on, man?
Yeah, that sucked because it was like an hour of good conversation. I think it was my first couple days in Japan. It's no good we lost that footage, but shit happens.
Yeah. So yeah, we can basically treat it like we didn't talk last week. Talk about getting to Japan first, I think, was one of the big things we talked about last week.
Yeah, I guess we could talk about it. I not that I don't want to repeat things. I just, I get excited to tell you, Brent Brookhouse, new things. So I don't want to go over the same stuff that you already heard. But for our listeners, I will grind it out. And it was a treacherous 16 hours of flying. I paid for an upgrade. It was like $200. And I took a long dump at the beginning of the flight. And when I came back, a lady was sitting in my chair that I paid to upgrade. And she did not speak English. So I asked her to move in pretty much like dumb person sign language. She jumped over a seat because she thought I was asking to sit in the corner, like both of us were taking those empty seats. But in fact, it was my actual seat that I paid for, and she was a messy flyer. And I call them messy flyers because it's like someone that brings a pillow, a blanket, their jacket. It always ends up overflowing onto my chair. When they fall asleep, their arm ends up over the armrest, so then she's elbowing me in the gut. That's what I use my fanny pack for the most part. I turn the fanny pack all the way around so that they get the point that I don't like people touching me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty big dude, so being on a plane, I'm very big on people sticking to their personal space, and I will try to return the favor because I could get all up in your space if you want me to, but,
Oh, me too. You don't think I want to open my legs?
Yeah, open my legs, really spread out my shoulders, get those arms out there, I don't want to get off the plane and have my shoulders all tight, but, it's the social agreement of flying.
Exactly. But because if you saw me sitting on a plane, you would assume I was the most depressed human being on earth with no confidence. Because that's how I have to sit.
Right. Yeah, that's just what you have to do. But long flight, I mean, to kind of, like you said, not repeat too much stuff, even if people haven't heard it, we're not going to have a natural conversation repeating everything back.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
Yeah.
But I do have to cover one thing that I spoke about was that you were shocked I never watched The Godfather.
Yes, I was going to say, I know the other thing that we really talked about was you and movies on the flight.
Yes, there was a movie I watched on there called Brigsby Bear, and I recommend it to all of our listeners. Did you actually watch it or no?
No, I did buy it, so I have it sitting waiting for me to watch.
You bought it?
Yeah. Whatever.
Is it already on the discount rack?
Oh no, I bought the digital version.
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know if people actually did that.
Oh yeah, I don't always abide by the steal it version, and I didn't.
No.
I didn't
That's
see.
not what I meant.
Right, I didn't see it on the streaming stuff, so it might be out there.
Oh, that's so funny. No, I meant I'll buy an actual physical copy of a DVD still.
Oh yeah,
I'm not a digital. I don't know why. I just can't do it.
See, I thought that way until I think it was once I had a kid who was moving around, and it was my old DVD rack was not kid friendly or kid safe, so I had to move that, and then it just kind of became, where am I putting this stuff? And then all of a sudden I transitioned.
That's true. I could totally see that. All right, fair enough.
But yeah, you also watched The Godfather, which you had never seen, which kind of blew my mind a little bit.
Yeah, for the first time, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so good!" And I can't wait to fly home because I started The Godfather 2, but I had to stop it about halfway. So I'm gonna watch the second half, which is the length of a whole movie, anyways, on the way back. And then people have told me to stay away from The Godfather Part 3, but I'm finishing all three of them.
Yeah, I disagree. I mean, I can't debate that it is the worst of them, but A, it's still better than most movies, and B, like, yeah, you gotta finish the story. So,
Yeah.
So do it. All right, so
I definitely will.
So you're in Japan. How have things been going? I mean, we can get into the finer details here as we're talking, but overall, how's life been?
Overall, fantastic. I've done a lot, so there's lots we could talk about. Eating, I've really had to like push myself. I'm a very sheltered, live in my bubble human being, and I only eat things that I know. So here I had to really push myself out of my normal boundaries and try things that I never would have before. And 9 times out of 10, I absolutely love whatever I've tried.
Okay, but what about the 10th out of 10?
It's not something that's going to make me like throw up. Literally, I think I only didn't like tofu.
Okay, texture thing more than anything?
Yeah. I'm like a general kind of person. It was very good. Like yesterday, I went to Disney World or Disneyland, sorry, and they had soy and butter popcorn. And I was like, I'm not really like a soy person, but I mean, I'm in Japan, and it was amazing. I loved it. It was so delicious. I've tried every kind of noodle. Weird things that I don't know what they are or how to say them. Love them. Everything. They have like really good fried meat here. It's very good, delicious. I'm just a big fan of the food here. It just sucks that my Japanese is so bad. Like, I don't know anything, none. And where I'm living, there's not many English-speaking people, so it's very hard for me to like go into a restaurant. I'm essentially just pointing at a menu. And like I said, using dumb sign language. So I got Cole Cabana hooked me up with a Google Translate app. So like today I went and got my hair cut. So I'm becoming accustomed to being the giant white boy in this town and finding ways to get things done.
All right, well that's good on Colt for hooking you up that way. So yeah, I mean, I guess we'll get to the wrestling and everything, but what are you doing with free time? I mean, you said you went to Disney World or Disneyland yesterday. What else is taking up the time outside of the ring?
Honestly, a lot of walking, mostly because I don't have a car, I don't have a bike, and everything is like 10 minutes away from where I live. A lot of sightseeing, like, it just sucks to have to take the train, and the train is so confusing, so I have to bring my Wi-Fi. It's like portable Wi-Fi that they gave me, which is why I've been so active on social media. So I have to bring that with me, my phone with me, and I can essentially find anywhere I need to go or want to go. It's just the fact that the trains are, like, not very friendly, like user friendly, and some of the docks have more than one train come to them, so I could get on the wrong train and end up in the wrong spot. Like one show I was an hour and a half late to. Well, I showed up on time, but I killed an hour and a half. Thank God I left early because my phone wanted me to take the bus, and I had no idea that I was going to a bus station. So it was like, I was like literally lost in this giant world of people that don't speak English. So it was super stressful. But a lot of sightseeing, a lot of just finding different places to eat, and merchandise hunting. Like I've bought some Dragon Ball Z statues, Spider-Man, like figurines that are like exclusive to Japan. Things that I would have to pay lots of money in Canada to get imported, or like a lot at a collector's shop. And I went to look at a bunch of Japanese temples, which was awesome. Some street meat there. I ate some crab. It was like the most delicious thing I've ever had in my life. I saw a giant golden flame, but it looks like a giant golden shit.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know, just seen a bunch of like different monuments and buildings and temples and landmines. Yeah.
All right. Overall, how are you adjusting to the time difference and everything at this point?
The time difference took me a while. Like that was the shittiest part because I would wake up at 6 a.m. or 3 a.m. because my body was just like, "Yo, get up," and I would fall asleep at 8 p.m. But I did a show in Fuji, so I saw Mount Fuji. That was pretty cool. I did a show in Fuji. We had to take the bus, the DDT bus. So we did the show. We had the bus back, and that forced me to stay awake because of the length of the show. So I ended up being up until about midnight. So the next day, I woke up at 9. So I was like, perfect, full night's sleep. And ever since then, I've been great. The only thing that sucks is the house I'm staying in is so cold that I have to wear 2 pairs of pants, 2 sweaters, 2 pairs of socks, and my hood over my head. And I have a heating lamp like right beside me. Like literally, if I turn, I could burn myself.
Okay, that sounds unpleasant.
Yeah, and then because of that, the flowers are blooming here. So it's like allergy season. So right now I have hay fever. I don't know if you know what that is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I have that.
Okay, so
it fucking sucks. So I had to, sorry for swearing, so I had to go to the hospital, which was another process in itself because, again, no English, no English and no Japanese. So thankfully I had a translator dealing with all that. And now I'm on like 3 different medications, which antibiotics like kills all your cardio, just sucks your life out of your body. So like I had to wrestle on antibiotics the other day, and I swear to God, after the match, I was like dead. I thought I was gonna die. My throat was lumped up like I had, like when you have a knot in your back. Right. I had that in my throat. Like I was literally massaging my throat because I was like, "You're gonna die, Julian. Like this is terrible. Like, oh my God, your life is over. Like, how the hell did you make it through that?" Because in the ring, I'm like, this guy does not speak English. I cannot say I can't breathe. So I have to do every single step that we planned, or he will freak the F out and be like, "What is this guy doing? He's shooting on me?" Then I had to fight this guy. So I'm like, I was done halfway through the match, and it wasn't even a long match. Like I'm just like so sick, and I'm in my head. I'm thinking, just like suck it up, you bitch. Like just get through this, effing match. It's gonna be fine. But as soon as like the match ended and I like laid on the mat, I was like, "Oh, you're done, dude. Like you're go in the shower and lay down. Like you are dead." So yeah, so that happened.
So, I guess on the communication front, how have, without getting into individual matches yet, how has that been overall? I mean, you kind of touched on it a little bit. Last week when we talked on our now lost episode, you talked about that being a concern heading into the trip. So, yeah, how's that been?
Like, I don't want to say bad because I've had 3 matches so far, and they've all been really good. But I don't want to say good because these matches don't just come together like nothing. Like, it's a freaking painstaking tooth pulling, like agonizing amount of like mental stress trying to essentially plan this intricate like artistic fight with someone that doesn't understand a goddamn thing you're saying. And then I have a translator, and the translator's trying to tell me things in English, but like even his like interpretation of what these English words mean are confusing to me. So like here, for instance, so I had a singles match, and he's telling me this guy's a young boy, so he doesn't do a lot of moves. So he goes, very, very simple. Don't do a lot. And I go, okay. So I start putting the match together, and I'm, whatever, here we go. Things are flowing good. And I go, okay, then finish. He goes, maybe more. And I go, what do you mean maybe more? You said don't do a lot. Like, this is very simple. He goes, maybe he do more moves. So I'm like so confused now because I think I've just offended him. I offended the other wrestler. Now the office is going to be mad at me because I'm like taking advantage of these people, like just like more offense for me and not them. But I'm just doing exactly what I thought he told me to do by saying he's a young boy. Don't let him do a lot of moves. So I'm like that's what I mean about mental stress, because it's not mental stress planning a match. Anyone could freaking watch a match start to finish and just redo that. It's not hard. Wrestling is a very universal language, especially if you have time before the show to just get in the ring and walk through the entire thing. But it's the mental stress of me trying to keep my opponent happy who doesn't speak English. So if I hear an idea translated back to me and I don't want to do it, I don't know how that translator is telling him no. So he could be saying no, he thinks he's too big to take that move, and that makes me look like an asshole. Whereas if it was just English and English, I could say no in a way that might not be as aggressive.
Right, so it could be just, no, I don't think that really works, which can be fairly easy, but then that could be translated into, no, he said you had a bad idea.
Exactly. So that's the stuff that stresses me out.
And then, I guess in match is, I think what would scare me the most if I were in your position is if it went slightly off plan and not having the communication to, just straight up say this is what we need to do to get back to it. Is that even
and that happened.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So the third match, it was against a guy he's only been wrestling for 4 months, and we're just going in deep. So my philosophy on talking about wrestling backstage has changed, because while I've been here, I've been playing WWE 2K on my Switch, so I decided to start a career mode. And then a week into career mode, Triple H walks in and tells your character that you have to be a jobber and lose these matches. And in my head, I'm thinking, if WWE can put that in a video game, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm just going to talk about everything in wrestling.
Right.
So, mid-match, I'm working with the guy. He's only wrestling for 3-4 months, and the spot to go into the comeback and all the fancy stuff at the end is a chin lock. Just put him in a chin lock. He fights out of it. I hit the ropes. He scoop slams me. I put him in the chin lock, and he scurried over to the ropes. So I was in my head, I'm not panicking yet. I'm just thinking, oh, maybe he just doesn't want to go to the comeback yet. He just wants me to put more heat on him. So I go, okay. So I do that. I'm dying right now, not being able to breathe. So I put more heat on him, slam him, put him in a chin lock again. He starts to go to the ropes again, and I just pulled back. No, we're not going to the rope. Hoping that he doesn't forget. He forgot. He's now we're almost shooting. He's trying to go to the ropes. He thinks I'm fucking choking him out. So I just put my lips to his ear and was like, "Come back, please, come back." Nothing. And I go, "Scoop slam." He goes, "Oh, sorry." So whatever. Then he knew because that's his offense, right? So
Right.
he knew that's where we were going. I was like, "God damn!" Because that in that moment, I was like, "Oh, here we go." It's all downhill, but it ended up being really good.
All right. So what are the matches? God damn! I'm gonna.
Oh
have to
my
edit
God,
that
Brent! What the hell?
I'm
No
gonna
way,
have to.
leave it.
I'm gonna have to edit my mic falling out of the episode. God, the whole arm just fell.
Was that the heaviest mic of all time?
Well, I've got it on like an extending stand thing, so the whole stand just fell. Anyway, I'll edit that out.
Why? Who
Okay,
cares?
fine. I won't edit it out. That was my mic falling, everybody. So what matches have you had so far?
So I couldn't properly say anyone's name that I've wrestled.
Okay.
But the good news is that you could check it all out on DDT, DDTuniverse.com. I know it's English friendly if you use the translator on Google, I think.
Yeah.
But I've had 3 shows so far. A singles match is my debut. Then I did a 6-man tag, which was ironically the easiest match to put together, which I was like super stressed about. But that was awesome. And then another singles match on their DNA show, which is DDT New Attitude, I think it's called. DNA, yeah. DDT New Attitude. Which is all their like young boys and up and coming talent. So that's 3 shows. Tomorrow I have another show, and then the day after I have a show in Osaka, which is like 8 hours away, which is cool. Just to be able to see another part of Japan. So 2 more coming. So by the end of the weekend, there should be 5 matches on there.
All right. And I mean, I'm sure that the answer to this is it sucks, but how's it going being away from the family?
Oh, it's terrible. But thanks to the miracle of technology, I've been getting pictures every day. Just before we spoke, I was FaceTiming them. Because it's really late right now, right? Like midnight?
It's 11:05 right now.
Yeah, so like they were just getting ready for bed. I got to see my daughter, my wife. That was nice. And like I update them on everything. Like while I was at Disneyland yesterday, I was sending videos and pictures and hey, what do you think about this merchandise? And it was pretty cool. So it sucks not being home, but my wife's very supportive and wants me to experience as much as I can while I'm here. So I feel less guilty, even though yesterday was the saddest day of this entire trip, I think.
Yesterday was the saddest day?
Oh, for sure. So, like, yes, I was having a great time. Disneyland is the greatest place on earth. It was such a cool experience. Check out my blog about it on YouTube, youtube.com/Canadian Monster Mafia. Check it out. It's like, well, I think 10, 11 minutes of me being there for the day. Like, it was fun, but I have to say, going alone is not something I would want to do a lot. I might do the other parks just because I'm here and I don't want to go home and regret not going. But it's not the same because I'll never, ever turn to anyone and say, man, do you remember that time when? Because no one else experienced it with me. So it's like I have all this joy and happiness. I'm so happy. Like, this is so much fun. Oh, my God. Oh, this tastes so good. Oh, look at that. That's so cool. But you're not sharing it with anybody. So, like, I wish my wife was there just so that I could, like, share the experience with somebody and actually be like, 5-10 years from now, oh, remember that time we were at Tokyo Disneyland? Like, wasn't that so cool? Or remember that ride we were on? Like, that was so fun, right? But, like, I'll never have that.
Yeah, I mean, Disney is kind of a place you go for the memories as much as the experience, so I guess I could see that.
Yeah, so like and that hit me as soon as I started walking up to the gate. I was like, "Oh, this fucking sucks." Like, I wish I could just turn to either a friend of mine or my wife and be like, "Aren't you excited?" And I was like, the second I said that to myself, I was like, "I'm gonna start a thread on Twitter so I can at least share this with somebody and be like, here's my experience." So then I became the giant white dude that was like reviewing Disneyland in Tokyo, posting pictures and my like thoughts and whatever. And I was like, you know what? That at least gives me like an outlet. I know it's so lame. Like I'm like psychologically breaking down going to a theme park alone, but like it was like a weird thing. So I was like, well, at least I'll be able to share this a little bit, and it honestly helped me enjoy it a lot more.
All right, I can see that. And hey, Alpha One has a show in like a couple days, right?
Oh, are we going? We just want to keep me as depressed as possible, eh?
I mean, I figure this is kind of the downer segment of the show, so let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah, there's a show this Sunday, which for me it would be Monday. Me being a day ahead always throws me off. Always. Because today it's Friday here, but it's Thursday for you.
Right.
So this Sunday, in Hamilton, Ontario, there's a big show, and it's got a lot of really fun matches on it. And I'm sad I'm not going to be there, and I'm fingers crossed Randy, our cameraman, will actually edit a DVD teaser for us so that I can just mark out and watch it while I'm here for the first time missing an Alpha One show in 8 years.
And how is that working? I mean, I assume you basically are running things normally, so who's taking charge while you're gone?
So I've got Josh Alexander like posting the card, making sure match times get to, make sure everyone is okay with finishes, meeting, running the meeting and everything like that. Then I've got like a really good crew of guys who do the music, referees. Today my ring announcer bailed on me, so like I'm in Japan scrambling to find a ring announcer for a show that happens in like 3 days. So that was a lot of fun. But like my locker room's great. Like I honestly don't believe I need to be there. The ring crew's fantastic. That'll be up. Everything will be running smooth. I only hire professionals. Like I prepaid the venue. I prepaid all the wrestlers. Like Josh Alexander has all the money, so it's like very. There will not be a scenario of me not being there and people being like, "Oh, there's not enough money," or "Oh, venue's not paid," or like it's going on. The show's happening. Everything is going to run smooth. There was a lot of pre prepping before I left to make sure it was okay.
And yeah, that is maximum effort, right? In 3 days?
Yeah. Sunday, March 11th, 4 p.m. Check out alpha-1wrestling.com. Notable matches. Ricky Shane Page defends the title against MJF. We've got Joshua Briggs versus Kobe Durst. The winner faces me, Ethan Page, for the Southside World title on April 15th. Josh Alexander versus Myron Reed, which I'm sure is easy show stealer. And then so that's 3 matches. So there's 5 other matches too. So just check out alpha-1wrestling.com. Everything is announced on there.
All right. And we like to hit kind of hot topics in the indie wrestling world. Have you been keeping up with all the Sami Callihan stuff?
Oh man, yeah. I try to, but it's so hard because like when it's late at night there, it's like right now for me, and then when I'm actually up and like online, everyone's asleep. But I try my best to like keep up and stay up. But yeah, what's your thoughts on that whole thing?
I mean, okay, from everything I've ever heard or seen, Sami does not have a reputation as an unsafe guy. I don't know.
And I will agree with that because I've wrestled him multiple times.
Right. It seems like just a moment went wrong. He definitely seems like he overswung with the bat a little bit, went a little too hard, but it happens. And
see, I don't think he overswung. I think that the spot was dumb. It was stupid. I've done that. It's kind of like dumb stuff. It was like fake hardcore wrestling. The irony of the fact that it's so fake what he was trying to do and ended up actually hurting him is insane.
yeah, and then the thing is, from my point of view, the only person that he owes any degree of apology to is Eddie Edwards, which supposedly he apologized. They agreed that, it was a mistake, no big deal. So for people to be...
Did they publicly say that?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm a little, I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I've heard and seen. But for people to freak out like they are, like, should he be fired? Is this, like, he's unsafe? Like, it's wrestling and shit goes wrong and it's not the end of the world. And then it turns into this kind of cycle of people are so fired up about it that then Sami decided that he needed to, I don't know, get extra heat from it and, turn it into some merch opportunities and stuff like that. But even that doesn't bother me as long as he and Eddie are cool. Like as long as Eddie's...
That's the problem.
Oh, go.
That's the problem with fans is that they think they're so involved that they can dictate people's employment when it is fake. This shit is fake. If Eddie Edwards was obviously he's going to be upset. No one wants to get their fucking eye broken, but accidents happen. And if the spot was stupid or not, the chair on the chest and hitting the chair to put it in, whatever that was, yes, it was an accident. He did not intentionally swing to hit him in the face. Not even close. Not even freaking close. So if they are fine, like you said, if Eddie Edwards came out online, it was like, I'm upset with Sami Callihan. I don't think blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. The only person to ever go to Impact Wrestling to say he should be fired is Eddie.
Right. And
not fans. But they're sticking up for a guy who's not even asking for it. Like, he does not need your fucking support. Like,
right.
It's so frustrating to me that people just take it upon themselves. You are not that involved with professional wrestling. Where did this, entitlement come from? I'm not saying the way Sami Callihan is handling it is the best way. I wouldn't stir the pot in 2018 just because of the way people react to things now. Look, it's pathetic. People in 2018 are pathetic, and it upsets my stomach. That's why I give no opinions online whatsoever. I'll never pick a side on anything whatsoever. Even in this conversation, I'll say, yeah, it's 50-50. He's right, they're right. It's whatever. It's because you can't upset anybody anymore because everyone's a pussy now. So it pisses me off that the fact that Sami has to go so hard on pro wrestler, I'm a bad guy, just to attempt to turn this into something that benefits television. It should not even. People shouldn't even be talking about it.
Well, yeah, and just the rush to declare anyone unsafe when they are, I guess, I hate to say on the giving end of an injury because that sounds more intentional than it is, but now it feels like anything that happens, the second it happens, it's, oh, this guy's unsafe because one guy got hurt because of a miscommunication. But nobody sits here and talks about Owen Hart's career and goes, he was totally unsafe because he broke Steve Austin's neck.
Exactly. But if he did, but if that was today,
oh yeah,
okay, so you know what's stupid? It's so fucking stupid that they're gonna put that clip online of Sami Callihan smashing fucking the bat and accidentally hitting Eddie Edwards in the face, and they're gonna say Sami Callihan's unsafe. But they will share a clip of Joey Janela package pile driving a dude, his head literally hitting the mat. And I'm not shitting on Joey. I'm just saying that I've seen the GIF from PWG, and they will just fucking publicly masturbate to how epic that is. That, oh, did you see how cool that move was? But because the guy didn't get crippled,
right?
Joey's not unsafe. No, it's fucking dumb because that shit deteriorates people's fucking bodies. Moves like that. He was doing a fucking fake hardcore spot, like so fake. Hitting the chair would not hurt him at all. But if he sold it, they would have reacted for it. Fucking pro wrestling. But when a guy's doing pile drivers and fucking top rope this and reverse Rana and dropping dudes on their fucking heads, not just Joey, anybody. I'm just using him as an example. They're not unsafe because that guy didn't get hurt. But it is not safe. That shit is not fucking safe. It pisses me off. I don't agree with Sami going on and saying, look at my bank account, I'm the busiest wrestler of all time. That's just like a dark side of somebody that I would never want to share online. Maybe it's part of his character. I don't know. I've wrestled Sami. He's not an unsafe wrestler. I would say he's one of, if not one of the best guys I've been in the ring with. He's just that good. He's a good wrestler. He's a great wrestler.
Right.
And I'm sure the rest of the match.
Oh, well, I just was going to say, I think he's also put in an odd position when Impact decides to play it up as a storyline. Then it becomes almost like hard
what
for
would you do?
Oh, no, I'm not.
What would you do?
I'm not arguing with that. I'm saying...
I would make it an angle, too.
Right. I'm just saying for Sami, then it becomes like, okay, well, this is a storyline, so we're cool with it being a storyline, so I can play into it, which then people take poorly because even though it's a storyline, he shouldn't play into it. I think it's a weird situation, and I don't know what's right or wrong, but I also want to stop because, like you said, everybody freaks out about everything, and I want to rewind a little bit and stress that you said 3 or 4 times that you were not shitting on Joey Janela. So please, nobody listen to this and then say, "Oh, he was shitting on Joey Janela." So,
no, but I was just using him as an example. Like, I saw a GIF of him wrestling Morgan Webster, and I was like, "Oh, look at all these cool fucking death-defying moves." It was like brainbuster off the top, package pile driver on his head. It was like 3 different things: apron, Death Valley driver, and people. Flash Morgan Webster did not get hurt. Nobody's saying Joey Janela is not a safe wrestler. But that, to me, is way more unsafe than what Sami was attempting to do with hitting a fucking plastic chair on Eddie Edwards and accidentally hurting him. Whereas these moves that Joey's doing that these fans are frothing at the mouth over, those are much more dangerous.
Right. Definitely agree. Wanted to hit on that.
No. I love Joey. He's wrestled for Alpha One numerous times. This is not a thing against him. I'm just using that as an example because I'll see that in my timeline. It's like the same people that jerk off to that are the same people that are going to freaking crucify a guy for a genuine mistake. And it's heartbreaking because they think they know everything about wrestling. You don't know shit, shut the fuck up, and just enjoy the show. I get it. Someone got hurt. Eddie Edwards did not make a statement about it or cry about it or shit on Sami about it. So unless he's going to do that, you shouldn't either. Because the only one that should have an issue with it is Impact Wrestling and the wrestlers in the match. None of them had an issue with it. Shut the fuck up.
I think that pretty much wraps that up.
Sorry.
So no, I love it. I love it. So hey, you've got stuff going on Mania weekend now.
Yeah, I'm going down for Combat Zone Wrestling. Wrestling with Shane Page for the CZW World Title. That'll be fun. And I will be signing autographs at the AIW booth, selling merch and wares and meeting fans and all that jazz. So fun stuff all around.
Hey, one question we got last week that, not that it matters if we answered it or not, since people can't hear it, but you couldn't answer it at the time. But is there a difference in the taste of Diet Coke?
There is. I'm actually drinking one right now, and it is very, very good. Let's talk about food for a second here, because in Japan, they take such care with everything that they do. And it's almost as if they're embarrassed if they do not do their job at the best of their ability. It is a character trait that I see nowhere in America or Canada. And it is unbelievable. So I went to pay with my debit card, and I had to put in a PIN code. The lady turned her back to me.
While you were putting in your PIN?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, that it's such a small thing, but like, it's just her way of saying, like, go ahead, no one's like watching you.
Right.
Like, put your pin in.
I'm taking this small step to make you feel even more comfortable.
Yeah. Or like, I wanted to know if the Big Mac tasted like a Big Mac in Japan. So I got a Big Mac, and you know how they say, like, oh, it never looks like the advertisement when you get it? Dude, this shit looked exactly like the photo. I'm not joking.
That's wild.
It was fucking incredible. And it tasted amazing.
All right.
Mind-blowing. I have strawberries sitting right beside me, and I am like foaming at the mouth thinking about eating them because they're so juicy and delicious. Everything here is so awesome. Everyone here is so nice. Unless you take a train in the morning. Then you see the demons that are these people getting on and off the train, just derailing old ladies, not giving a flying F. When I was trying to get on the train to go to Disneyland yesterday, this old man flying shoulder tackled this old lady so hard to try and get onto the train. The door was closing on this guy, and he, like a bowling ball knocking over pins to get these people to move in so that he could make the train. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get the next one, because screw that.
All right. Most common question we got over the past 2 weeks was, now that you're at DDT, who do you really want to work with?
I would love to wrestle Dino, obviously. But I don't think that I'll be put in a position to do any comedy wrestling while I'm here, as weird as that is. I did not know this, but I was brought in to be a serious wrestler, and athletic.
Flashback to your introductory video where you were basically Kenny Omega. So
they actually now when they advertised that, like, we were joking about, like, oh man, I hope that's not what they expect. And now I'm 3 matches in, and I know exactly what they want. They want me to be just a professional wrestler, like a good wrestler. I was like, damn, I didn't even know I could do that. Turns out I can. It took me coming all the way to Japan to find out. But I have just been wrestling. Like, no, like, jokes, no ha-ha, no gaga. 2 out of my 3 matches started off with chain wrestling. Like, I'm like, when Hogan goes to Japan, you see him doing like wrist locks and headlock takeovers and shit. That's me. I'm Hogan. So when fans were tweeting at me asking me what color paper tape they call it, which is like streamers, I was like, oh, yellow and red. Which I got, which is pretty funny, but like the joke is like for myself.
All right. Well, you know what? I have been for about 20 minutes holding a giant mic extender arm in my hand. And I also don't want to go too long and find out that we busted the audio again. So why don't you plug your stuff and we can wrap for the week?
Yeah, sure. Twitter @officialego, Instagram @official_ego, ProWrestlingTees.com/Ethan Page. Please go out of your way, check out my blog from Tokyo Disneyland. It is on youtube.com/Canadian Monster Mafia. Or if you just search Ethan Page Wrestler, you'll find my page. Check out Alpha One this weekend, alpha-1wrestling.com. It's a stacked card, 8 matches, hungry Canadian talent, and the best talent from the U.S. traveling in. If you don't know what Alpha One is and you want to check it out, go to powerbomb.tv, use promo code ALPHA1, ALPHA, and the number 1, all capitals, but not the number 1 because I think it turns into an exclamation mark, so don't do that. But anyways, you get 20 days for free. Check out, I think there's like 18 or 19 Alpha One shows on there. So for 20 days, you'll be able to watch lots of wrestling, plus a bunch of other companies as well. And we might be streaming live soon. So stay tuned. I don't want to give that away or promise anything because it's in the works and not 100% completed. But I really, really, really want people to be able to watch Alpha One live that are in America because I feel like we have a product that needs to be seen. So I'm doing my best to make that happen. But that's all my plugs. And I spent way too much money at Disneyland yesterday, so please, if you visit one of those websites, ProWrestlingTees.com is the best one to check out.
You can find me at Brent Brookhouse on Twitter. Read my stuff at bloodyelbow.com and cagesideseats.com. The good people at Cageside Seats are also the ones responsible for this show even existing, so definitely make sure that you're going there. Hey, we talk a lot about Black Label Pro on this show. They have a show this Saturday. I will be there doing some work, recording some interviews, stuff like that. So if you see me there, stop by, say hi. I will gladly talk some wrestling with you or just hang out. So yeah, that does it for this week, and we will be back next week, hopefully with another solid audio day. I know this isn't the most ideal audio. It's a step down from what we normally do just based on circumstance, but you know, how often do you get a podcast with a guy who's live over in Japan for his first ever trip? So that's awesome. We will talk to you next week. Hey, Ethan, take care. Good luck with the rest of your week, and we will talk later.
Thanks, man. Hopefully the audio is good.